Hey, it's AP, and today I'm giving you my top 10 holiday gift list for the model maker in your life. Check it out. Yes, this is my 2022 gift guide for model makers, or just makers in general, but this is more geared towards the model and prop maker type of person. And so this list is compiled of things that I personally own, but also things that I would like to own maybe someday, if you're watching, honey. So if you're looking for stocking stuffers, the first thing I recommend is a pair of new nippers. Yes, nippers are what you use to cut the model pieces off of the sprue, and it's always good to invest in a nice, clean, cutting, sharp pair of nippers. There's a lot of great nippers out there. There's a lot of great videos out there on which nippers to buy. I just picked up a pair of USA Gundam Nippers 2.0, and they look pretty sweet. They haven't arrived at the time of me shooting this video, but I can't wait to use them. Previously, I was using just simple wire cutters, which work just fine and are way cheaper than dedicated nippers. But if you have a model enthusiast in your life, you may want to help them upgrade their nipping game by getting them a pair of USA Gundam 2.0 nippers, or God's Hands nippers. I hear from some of my new friends in the Gundam space are the creme de la creme of model nippers. But I find that the USA Gundam 2.0s seem to be a good fit for general use. They come in at about $40. You can get them at the USA Gundam site. I'll leave a link below. You can also pick up a pair of nice Tamiya nippers for a lot less. They're about $20, $21 on Amazon. They work just as well, just you don't get that nice clean cut that I hear that the USA Gundams give you. So check out one of those two, and your model maker partner will appreciate it, I hope. Next, since we're talking about model making, check out some of the great Bandai kits that they have out there. They have kits for everything from Star Wars to Gundam to ships and cars and all kinds of great stuff. They have beautiful kits. They are highly detailed. They are snapped together so there's no glue, and they usually come pressed in color, so you don't have to really paint them if you don't want them. These are really good. Some of the entry-level Bandai kits are really great for the entry-level model maker in your life, and they have kits all the way up to perfect grade, like the perfect grade Millennium Falcon, which is a very accurately detailed, very well pressed kit, but it comes with a very high price point as well. They have price points across the spectrum, so if you have a model maker in your life, pick up one of the Bandai kits. There's a lot to choose from. A good stocking stuffer? Well, get a USB drive or a micro SD card or an SD card and purchase some 3D printable files off of CG Trader or Etsy. There are so many models out there that have been designed for 3D printing, and some of these are beautiful. I used Bang Collectables, I believe I said that correctly, to do a chopper resin model. It came out beautifully. The prints came out beautifully. The design was beautiful. He has tons of great models that you can print. The prices range from $10 to maybe $50. And this is a great gift. If you have a partner who really wants to build that one particular ship from that one particular sci-fi show, I bet you'll be able to find premium files somewhere for a decent price. And if they have a 3D printer, well, then they can print them out and build the model themselves, save them a trip to the hobby store. Now, this is kind of a twofer in my list of top 10, but a good airbrush for your painting. I almost exclusively use a airbrush for my model making. I love the way it works. I love the textures I get and the dimension I get. Any of the videos that you watch me producing and where I'm working on a model or a prop or a cosplay, I'm painting with my airbrush. I use an Iwata CN Neo gravity feed airbrush, and I love it. I actually have two of them, one just in case the other one breaks down, but they are fantastic. I highly recommend them. If you're into airbrushing or just learning how to airbrush, it's a very simple gravity feed airbrush. So that means you put the paint in top and it comes out through the air that is pushing it. And it has a dual action, so you can push it down and control the amount of air that comes out of it. So you get a little bit more control over the more entry-level airbrushes. Now, this is by no means a high-end premium airbrush, but it is a good mid-level airbrush for the modeler. So definitely check them out. It would look great under your Christmas tree. And why this is a twofer? Well, if you don't have an airbrush system already, you're gonna need a compressor. Now, the one I use, I bought many years ago off of eBay. They don't even make it anymore, but it still works for my purposes. If I were to buy a new one, it's a little expensive, but Iwata has a really great and highly reviewed air compressor for airbrushes on Amazon. I'll leave you a link to it. So if you have someone who's been saying, you know what, I really want to get into airbrushing my model kits, well, for about $250, you can get them a really nice airbrush and a really nice airbrush compressor. Now, that might be a little on the high end. Do your research. There are other brands out there, but I cannot speak loudly enough for the quality of the Iwata CN Neo airbrush. Now, as we're moving up into the model kit realm, you know, I talked about Bandai. There is a beautiful, if you have a Star Wars fan model maker in your house, there is a beautiful kit from Zvezda. I think it's a Czech company that is owned by Revel. And they have a 1/1000th scale Star Destroyer. And I actually have it over here, so I'm going to show you. And it's lit too. Ta-da! This honking piece of plastic could be yours for $150. Well, not this one, but you can buy the kit. It is a beautiful kit. It's not screen accurate by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the largest, I think, commercially produced Star Destroyer out there. And there are a lot of upgrades that you can do to it. Many people have created upgrades that are available on Thingiverse and CG Trader and all the other 3D platforms where you can download and print upgrades to this. So, but the kit is $150. It is a beautiful addition to any model maker's collection. Or even if you're not a model maker, but you are a fan of Star Wars, hire someone to paint it and put it together for you, and heck, even light it. Look at those lights. Oh, that looks so great on camera. All right, so I said this was for model makers, but I also added that this was for kind of nerds and makers in general. And as you know, I'm a big Star Wars nerd, if this video and my background didn't give that away. But there are some really great prop replica kits out there. And I only mentioned these ones not to solidify my space in nerddom as the Star Wars geek guy, but it's because I've actually used them, I've made them, and I can vouch for the quality of them. So this one is the Bunker Bomb Kit from Wanawanga. It is a beautiful replica of the detonator charge, proton charge from Return of the Jedi. You know, the scene where they're in the shield generator and Han Solo is cranking these up and attaching them to the wall. I added lights in there too. This is a beautiful kit. It is practically screen accurate, and he actually has found sources for a lot of the original pieces or has modeled them in 3D. Definitely check this out. I don't know if you're going to get it in time for Christmas this year, but check if they have expedited shipping. I think that they usually have these in stock, so there's no reason why you couldn't buy it for a birthday or something. It's a really great kit. The base is made out of resin. There are resin components, there are metal components. You can do your own electronics. It's very easy. I actually did a video on how to do that, and I'll leave that up there or wherever the cards are these days. So check that out and pick one of these up from Wanawanga. Small business, great maker, awesome product. All right, next on my list, surprise, it's another Star Wars thing. I'm so glad I got married when I did, because any person watching this would just go, wow, he is going to end his life lonely, isn't he? So this is from another fine small maker. This is the KRX OR Thermal Detonator Replica from Return of the Jedi. Oh, did I do it? A little loose wiring. With full electronics, sound, and if you shake it, Pretty cool, huh? Probably should have done that closer to my microphone. Here we go. See, it makes a sound effect. This thing is very heavy. It must weigh 2.5 pounds. It is nickel-plated steel, I believe. It comes in a beautiful kit, beautifully designed packaging, well-documented instructions, if I recall. But I also made a video of my build of this as well, and I'll leave that somewhere up here. The price point is a little steep. It's about $300 for this. Again, I don't know if it'll get there in time for the holidays this year, but check if they have expedited shipping. It will make a great display piece on your bookcase or whatever. All right, well, no model shop is complete without a resin printer. And I proved this last week in one of my videos where I had to recreate a missing piece from my Millennium Falcon build. Oh my God, it's all Star Wars. I really need to diversify. But I was able to recreate on my resin printer through Fusion 360 a piece that was missing from my kit. Why should you get a resin printer if you are a model maker or just interested in making in general? Going back to the USB drive filled with 3D printable files, that's why. There are so many talented 3D designers out there that are making things left and right for you to make. And if you go to CG Trader or Etsy or the RPF or any Facebook group that's about prop and model making, you will find people creating awesome 3D files for you to purchase, print, and put together. I found that the resin printer was a great addition to my toolkit. I love printing on it. The resolution is far superior than a regular 3D printer that is extruding plastic. So I use the Elegoo Saturn. It is a beautiful printer. You can get it now for $350. I would also suggest that you get the wash and cure station. That is the Elegoo Mercury X. It is a really, first of all, it's beautiful looking and it matches perfectly, if you're into that stuff, with the printer itself. But it's a washing tank, and then it's a curing station with UV lights. So you have the whole package, and I think you can get that now for $250-ish, maybe $300. Well worth the investment, but there's all kinds of wash and cure stations out there. But Elegoo has made a beautiful product. I highly recommend them. There's also tons of other competitors out there. I know Anycubic has a really great product. I believe Prusa. Yes, I know Prusa has a resin printer now that you can pick up if you want to spend a ton of money on a Prusa. But definitely a resin printer is a great addition to the model shop. All right, so I'll call that my 10, I guess, right? That was 10, sure. But there's a bonus one for the hardcore model maker. And again, I'm so disappointed that this is a Star Wars thing. But again, there are a lot of wonderful producers of resin kits and studio scale kits. And I came across Merlin's models, or Merlin models, merlin-models.com, and they produce phenomenal looking kits. I've never made one. They are very expensive. They currently have a run going on an Empire Strikes Back ATST, the Chicken Walker, which is roughly $1,200, but it is as screen accurate to the studio model that they used in Empire Strikes Back as possible. They used the original model pieces and scanned them and modeled them in a 3D design program as part of this process. So they're using all of the original stuff, in essence, just kind of modified for today, and to create this very accurate, beautiful piece. Now, I'm not interested in the Chicken Walker. I am, but I'm not. What I'm really interested in is their studio scale Shuttle Tyderium, which roughly has a price point of about $2,400. So if you really love your partner and they're really into Star Wars and model making, definitely check out some of Merlin Models kits. I think they're all pre-order right now. I don't know when they're going to start shipping. And again, there are other studio scale resin model makers out there where you can buy their kits, but I have not seen the alleged beauty and quality of kits before for this. So That's my bonus one. So if you have the moolah and you have someone who you really want to spend it on, definitely check out the Merlin model kit. All right, so this is my gift guide for 2022 model makers or makers in general. Yeah, I'm sorry it's a little bit overboard on the Star Wars. I promise in 2023 I will diversify my nerddom just a little bit, and I hope this helped you figure out what to get that special nerd in your life. Thank you so much for watching.